Të dashur teleshikues të televizionit të shqiptarëve të Amerikës. Jemi këtu në mjediset e brendshme të sallës së kulturës së Kishës së Shën Palit. Jo për një aktivitet kulturor, jo për një aktivitet artistik, jo për të mbështetur një kandidat amerikan, por të mbështetur një kandidat shqiptar për në Kongres. Nuk është arritur deri më sot. Është një djalë i ri që të gjithë e njihni, një prokuror i përkushtuar, i cili ka kryer dhe aktivitetet të ndryshme në veprimtarinë e tij legjislative, një djalë i rritur nga fëmijë emigrantësh që ka kaluar në të gjitha etapat e zhvillimit të një emigranti nga emigracioni i parë, i dytë edhe i tretë, ashtu sikurse e thot ai edhe në apelin që i bën. Sot jemi këtu. Sot është kick-off, thonë Amerikanët. Sot do të filloj ajo betejë e madhe e Robert Lulgjurajt për të zgjedhur për në Kongres. Ne jemi të sigurt, ne që e njohim, ne që njohim aktivitetin e tij, ne që njohim karakterin e tij, jemi të bindur se Roberti do të fitojë. Do të fitojë jo vetëm për malësorët, do të fitojë jo vetëm për çdo shqiptar, do të fitoj edhe për gjithë zgjedhësit e tij të distriktit të 10. Distrikti i 10 shtrihet në zonat ku banojnë më shumë shqiptar. Është një çast i mirë, është një rast i mirë. Kjo zonë ende nuk ka një kandidat republikan tjetër për në primary, dhe është rasti që shqiptarët të bëhen bashkë. Qysh nga ky moment dhe të japin, sikur se thoshte Noli për nënën, të japin për Robertin, sepse politika amerikane bëhet edhe me xhep, edhe me vota. Ka ardhur koha që shqiptarët të kenë shqiptar në Kongres, se vetëm ashtu do din të mbrojnë të drejtat tona, do din të mbrojnë të drejtat e kombit shqiptar të trojet e tyre etnike. Dhe besoj se Roberti është një kandidat i dur, është një njeri që e do komuniteti, e duan bashkëdhetarët, një njeri i cili i ka mundësit, e ka përkushtimin, e ka dhuntit, i ka edukimin për të arritur një fitore. Ne t'i urojmë që të gjithë shqiptarët të japin çdo mundin për të arritur fitoren e Robert Lulgjurajt. Ne do t'jemi këtu, jemi me kamerat tona për të ndjekur këtë event dhe do të ndalemi në intervistat të ndryshme.
Whether in times of celebration, grief, or reflection, we have all turned to Father Fred for his wisdom and compassion. His words nourish our souls, not just through his homilies, but in his presence and guidance throughout our lives. Father Fred, the podium is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Kisha me pas që me fol popullor që për i zemrës, për herë mas mi majtë bjadë me retorika boshe, veç që herë rrallë parë du me falenderu Zotin që në la këtë mundësi, në vala ne popullit shqiptar këtë mundësi, me falenderu Zotin për bekimet mirat e hirit që në ka vala ne si komë. Ne që jena një komë mistik, jena një komë me potensat mëlaje intelektuale me mundësijat pa fundme. E faleminderit Zotit për ta një prezent këtu sot, që suportojmë dhe Robertin Lulgjuraj, që ka me mendim të Zotit, edhe mendimin me përkrahje të tuj, edhe të këtë popullit shqiptar Amerikan, ka me mujt me fitu drejtë, me nga prezentu në Kongresin Amerikan. Që dashtë të vlazër e mota. Shanset nuk vinë për çdo moment. Shanset e mirat mrekullueshme vini herë një jetë. Kja gjenerata jonë, jam të thamë ty, gjeneratën të nuk e në e pas ma shansë për me mujtë me pas një kandidat ma të kompletuar, ma shpesvan, ma me besim plot, se sa kena Robertin për me pas Kongres. Fëmijët e fëmijëve tuj ka me pas mundësin atjere, 1.000.000%. Por në nuk duhet me hupë kënë shansë, nërën ma absolute. Duhet me mu ba tanë zbashkët, mas me në da as ka hin, as fej, as ideja si sen, mu ba një që ta shofim Robertin të i pas një sidat e në Kongresin Amerikan. Kisha mi ju lutë fort, me një mu me të në mënyrët, me lutje në ratë parë, me një mu atërë me punë, edhe me një mume për kraje. Nuk du mi u majt një predikim sot, por që thot shkrimi shajt sot, që thot Krishti shkrimi shajt sot. Lypni e ka mi u lanë, kërkoni e keni me gjetë, trokit një nderë e dera ka mu hapë. Qa në më thanë me lypë, mi u lutë Zotit, o Zot banet mujtun që Robertit e kenë, por nuk marë mjafton vetëm me lutjen, duhet edhe puna, duhet me gjetë mënyrë, pra kërkoni se keni me gjetë, duhet me gjetë mënyrën se si mund na, duhet me gjetë mënyrën se si mund na me batë realizueshme një për cilin jena lutë. Lutja jo në shajmi Roberti me kanë kongres, që mund na me bërë? Kja është me kërku mënyrët, takimet, u bashku me rrallë. Atëherë hera e funit, që në më thonë me gërësit e nderë, me kanë kam mullës të këqëllimi jonë për cilin jena lutë. Mas mu lollë, mas mu frigu asiherë. Kena një shansë, edhe këtë shansë kena me përdorë. Pra na i lutëm Zotit, në mentatit birit e shpirtit shenjë, ashtu si na ke inspiru o Zot me hirin e shpirtit shenjë, apo a i shpirt shenjë na ka bashku sanë dhe këto tanë zbashkut vlazën shqiptarë, pa kër farë diferencet ka hinore ose fetare, sepse kena një Shqipni, kena një Zot. Pra ne ty, o Zot, lutna me gjithë zemër, banë që hirit tuja, tjenë zemrat tona, ta kuptojmë dhuratat e mlaja që na ke lanë ne si shqiptarë, të kuptojmë sa ta muna mi vunë shërbim tonin edhe të botës, që botat një nofin se kushjena edhe të në napin atë vend që e mëritojmë. E në atë lutin asët për Robertin, për tanë ne, që të supportu, muna me pa një dit, të realizum atë lutje që kena pru për prate, të i gjithë mënyrat e mërkullushme, mënyrat e nevojshme dhe domosdoshme, që me pa lutjen tonë të realizume. Pra ne o Zot në kërkojmë bekimin tanë sot, sa ndë në këtë bashkim, në tana bashkimet tjera dhe një ditë zbashkut në prezencën tanë të celebrojmë ku Roberti zgjedhet Kongresmen United States of America. Ne përkim që Zot në tonë. Ju lutë Zot, ju beko. Ta në bashkë muna me ba gjithë muna me ba bashkë.
Thank you so much, Father Fred. As always, your words are uplifting, grounding, and deeply meaningful. We're so fortunate to have Father Fred. It's my honor now to introduce Baba Eliton Pasha of the Bektash Monastery. A warm welcome to Baba Eliton.
Mirë më të gjithëve, si që përmendi dhe Father Fredi, bashkimi vëllezër dhe motra ka të bëjë shumë për neve, sidomos në këtë mundësi që diasporës tonë jepet për të patur Robertin si një derë e hapur për gjithë neve. Pjesa më madhe e juaja këtu janë më të vjetër se neve dhe e kam parë sa vështirë ka qenë kur ne kemi patur problemet tona për të rënë dyerve të senatorëve të huaj. Prandaj kjo mundësi e madhe të gjithë ne që jemi këtu në këtë sallë, në këtë të diel, dhe për ata janë pa mundësi që s'kanë qenë këtu, ndoshta dhe nga neglizhenca, duhet bëjmë të gjithë një punë të madhe për të bërë të gjithë bashkëdhetarët që të jenë aktiv në këtë fushat. Kjo është një nder i madh për gjithë ne shqiptarët që kemi këtë mundësi, pa dallim feje, pa dallim partie, nuk po bëjmë fushat elektorale, por jemi këtu si bashkëdhetar për të qenë pranë Robertit. I lutet madhe Zot që t'i jap sukses dhe të kemi senatorin e parë në historinë shqiptare në Michigan. Zoti ju ruaj gjithëve. Faleminderit për mbështetjen. Zoti ju bekoft. Robert, suksese. Më falni, dhe diçka. Nuk është për kritik, por do kishim më shumë dëshirë me që kemi dhe një zonë që na drejton, që salla më shumë të jemi familjar, të sjellim fëmijët, mos t'i mbajmë larg këtyre kuvendeve, sepse siç prindrit tanë na merrin neve në përdarka, në përkuvende, në përdasma, në përbashkime familjare dhe ne mësuam dhe i duam traditën tonë, besoj që dhe të gjithë neve duhet të sjellim familjarët tanë. Për shembull, kam aty familjarët e mi, nuk duhet jemi neglizhent që dhe familjarët tanë, niprit, mbesa, le t'jenë vegjël, t'jenë aktiv, sepse ndoshta niprit dhe mbesa tonë do t'jenë një Robert tjetër. Më mbrapa në tavë. Suksese!
Shumë faleminderit i nderuar. May we all please rise to our feet for the national anthem that is being sung by American Idol contestant Dave Fio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bumper stinging air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's my privilege to welcome not only a highly accomplished business leader, but also a very generous philanthropist whose impact extends far beyond the boardroom. Mr. Agim Yumani is the CEO of Form G-Tech, a state-of-the-art tooling manufacturer based in Troy, Michigan. Under his visionary leadership, the company has expanded to more than 100,000 square feet of production space, outfitted with cutting-edge technology, and has earned a reputation as a respected name in the manufacturing industry, both nationally and internationally. But Mr. Yumani's story goes well beyond business success. Deeply connected to his roots, he is a passionate advocate for education and opportunity. He has funded more than 50 full ride scholarships, helping him truly commendable, helping empower the next generation to pursue their academic and professional goals. His commitment to giving back to his community, his homeland, and to the broader society has earned him the title of the Quiet Giant. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Mr. Agim Yumani.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for being here tonight. I know Robert not more than 3-4 months, but more I have to know him, more I'm thinking that it's the ticket for us. We've been thinking for a long time, been here for 25, 30 years, and always asking myself, why we don't have somebody? We got a lot of educated people, a lot of youth who go into colleges, got master's degrees, PhDs, and everything else. But we're not there yet. Probably that it's the first time where I see something and it's our opportunity so our dream can come true. Maybe we can have somebody. And I think and I believe 100% that it's Robert. So now to fulfill our dream, the only thing we have to do is to support him. In supporting him, it's not just we have to go around, knock on the doors, call people, text people. We have to support him financially. Just after that, then maybe after that, then we're gonna get right on top, and we're gonna have a Robert right there when we want it and we dream for a long time, for hundreds and hundreds of years. So thank you, Robert, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Numani, for your heartfelt words. We're so grateful for your ongoing support of our entire community and Robert. We were also going to have another business titan speak this evening, Mr. Kambarla, but unfortunately, due to health concerns, he was not able to attend. But it's very important that Robert has the full support of our successful and thriving business community here in Michigan. We're going to take a pause on speeches now. Oh no, we have one more speaker, a very special one. Mr. Brian Penbecker. He is the founder of Auto Workers for Trump, a very vibrant and lively, brilliant man. Mr. Penbecker is a retired auto worker with 36 years in the industry, 11 at Chrysler, 25 at Ford. After meeting President Trump at a 2016 rally, he founded Auto Workers for Trump, giving UAW members a voice. He and his group now support Robert Ujulai's run for U.S. Congress. Mr.
Thank you very much, Crystal. And before I start my personal remarks, I just wanted to say, Jimmy, the previous speaker, I'll kind of translate what he was trying to get across. You guys have a historic opportunity right here with Robert running for Congress. I don't know if everybody, I know you know this is a big opportunity, but this is even bigger than that. This is historic. You guys can send the first Albanian American to Congress in the history of the United States of America. Rob called me about a year ago, and he said, Brian, this opportunity may have opened up. We had a long conversation, and at first I was a little bit skeptical. But the more Robert and I talked that night, and I was down in Florida, I'm retired now, I was down there at our condo, it kind of crystallized in my mind. I said, by the end of this conversation, I said, you know what, Robert? This is your seat. You are the perfect candidate for Michigan's 10th Congressional District. And we talked about things like his name. Name recognition is huge in politics. We discussed that for a while, and I thought, by the end of the conversation, we both agreed, we're going to make Lugerai a household name in Macomb County by the end of this campaign. Jamie Rowe is one of the best political consultants in Macomb County, and David LeDuc is also on Rob's team. He's got some great people around him. And I jumped on board, not because I have big financial resources or I'm any type of political consultant, but because I had set up a system of supporting Donald Trump in Macomb County. We went to 22 different auto plants and held rallies during the campaign for the 2024 election, and we made a difference. We sat outside the hourly employee parking lots during the middle of the day on a weekday, and we caught all the hourly people coming out from day shift, and we caught all the afternoon shift going in. We engaged with them, we educated them, and we motivated them. We did that for about 5 months, and we turned out thousands of UAW members who either weren't going to vote or they weren't going to vote for Trump. But we explained to them why it was so critical and so important. Now, I'm going to use that same template to campaign for Robert, and I've promised him that I will be outside those auto plants in his district with a team of auto workers with me, and we're going to get those auto workers out to vote for Robert next August in the Republican primary. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is it's going to take a real big commitment from everybody in this room. There's a legal limit that you're allowed to contribute to a congressional candidate. You all need to become familiar with it and find a way to hit that limit to contribute to Robert, because unfortunately, the primaries, you got to get through that first hurdle of the primaries, which are held in August next year, and it's like a cage fight. There might be 5 or 6 people that are running for this nomination. There might be people in this race that have a more familiar name than Robert's last name. There will be people in this race that have more money than Robert. There's going to be people doing everything, dirty tricks. Primaries are ugly. They're like a cage fight. 5 or 6 guys get in the cage, only one guy comes out. So we want Robert Lugerai to exit that cage next August as a Republican nominee here in the 10th Congressional District. I'll promise you this. I will be out there every week, all next spring and summer, campaigning for Robert outside the auto plants. I want to ask every one of you in this room to do everything you can to help them financially, volunteering, going door to door, hanging literature on their people's doors. We've got to get people familiar with who Robert Lugerai is and who the Albanian community is here in Sterling Heights and Macomb County. So thank you very much for inviting me tonight, Rob. I'm proud and honored to be part of this team. It's going to take a team effort to get you nominated next August and over the finish line in November. But you are going to be the first Albanian American congressman in the history of the United States that we all work together. Thank you.
And now, without further ado, the reason we're all here tonight. I'm thrilled to welcome Robert Lugerai. Robert is a graduate of Detroit University Law. He served as a trial attorney at Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, as you saw in the video, handling thousands of complex cases from attempted murder to major drug trafficking. Today, he continues to serve justice as a prosecutor with the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office. Robert is now making history as the first Republican candidate of Albanian heritage in the state of Michigan running to represent District 10, and to bring a fresh, principled, and deeply rooted voice to U.S. Congress. Robert, please come forward.
Thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. And I want to thank the community for coming out to support us. And I'm honored by all of you being present. And I promise you, we're going to grind and we're going to work and we're going to send us, all of us, not just me, but this room, to the halls of Congress. And when I thought about announcing this campaign, I said, where better to launch this candidacy but here at home with our community, with my family, with my friends, with my pastor, and our church, and you. Because you all have been waiting for this, and you all deserve it, and we're going to get there for you, I promise you. And as most of you know, this country was founded on the principles of God and family and patriotism. And society wants you to closet your faith. Society wants you to put God aside. They want you to be secular. But we're never, ever going to forget why we came to this country, not only for economic opportunity, but for religious opportunity. And that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for you, and we're fighting for your families. And that's why we're launching this campaign from this hall right now to remind people what's important in life. And so I want to thank the religious leaders for uniting all of us. And I want to thank Baba Eleton from the Bektashi Monastery. Baba, thank you. We've developed a relationship, and I appreciate your support, Baba. And I know Hojka Guri couldn't be here, but we invited the Qatari, Bilal, and I think he's present, and we want to thank you for your support. And we share the same bloodstream, and we share the same values. And when we get there, it's an open door policy. We're never, ever going to forget where we come from. And so God bless all of you. And I'd like to thank, even though this is God's house, the steward of this house is Father Fred. And I want to thank Father Fred for supporting us, for enabling us, for praying for us. Because with God's help, we're going to win this race. And as many of you know, priests don't make a lot of money. And Father Fred donated $1,000 to this campaign because he believes in it. So God bless you, Father Fred. Next, I'd like to thank the MC, Crystal. And we're honored that you were the MC, and you're a beautiful person, and you're intelligent, and you're well-spoken, and educated, and you're a family woman, and we know that you care about the community that you come from, and I think you're a great role model and example of this community, of a woman that can accomplish all of that and still take care of her family and her children, so God bless you, and thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank again Yolani, but who I call Jimmy. And you have an American dream story, Jimmy. You are the epitome of the American dream. And you came to this country with nothing, and you escaped the worst of circumstances. And you came to America, and you're living proof that with hard work, you can accomplish anything in this great country. And that capitalism works, and hard work pays off. And making no excuses, and starting a business, and being a job creator. And we're going to fight for people like you, and businesses like you, when we get to Washington, D.C. And so we thank you for being a person that has a lot of philanthropy, and we're honored that you came up here and spoke. And you're a gentle giant, because you do a lot behind the scenes. And so God bless your family, and God bless your business, and I hope it's all prosperous for you. Thank you. And so we all know that the American dream is real. Many of us in this room have experienced the American dream, and we're going to protect that. And I know that my story is only possible in the greatest country in the history of the world. And don't ever let anyone else tell you that America is not the greatest country in the world, because this room is living proof of that. And my family came to America in 1969, and I'm so happy that my grandmother, Rivula, is here, and God bless her. And my grandmother and grandfather came to this country. They're Albanian, and they came from Mudsi, and they came to the United States and worked hard labor jobs. And my grandfather was an auto worker in Chrysler. And my grandmother washed dishes in Greektown. And I never forgot when I carried my briefcase every day to work, when I passed Greektown on the way to being a prosecutor at Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, that just 2 decades ago, my grandmother was washing dishes there, and now I'm in a courtroom as a prosecutor. And that's the American dream that we're protecting. And my father, hard labor jobs, well, maintenance man, My mother is a waitress, but they always sacrificed for their children because they knew that even though their life was limited, they could sacrifice for their children, the next generation. And I promise you, we're not doing this race for all of you. We're doing this race for your children because we're going to craft a history for ourselves and get this seat. And so faith and family was an important part of my background. And I know that that's at the epicenter of your life. And that's how you live. And that's how you raise your family. And so we put God up front and we thank God. And Catholic education was a huge part of my family's background. But I went to public school. I grew up in Sterling Heights. I still live in Sterling Heights. I'm the only born and bred candidate that is from this district. And they sacrificed working around the clock to send me to Brother Rice from Sterling Heights. And after I graduated from Brother Rice, I went to Holy Cross College in Notre Dame, Indiana. And I became the student body president of my college because I care about people and I care about standing up for what's right and articulating that and never backing down and standing for truth and justice. And after I graduated from college, I came back home and said, let me give back. And I joined the Macomb County Republican Party as a volunteer. And I knocked on doors. And I knocked on doors and I made phone calls because I care about the value system and I care about the principles of this country and why this country was founded. And never got a dollar in return, but I didn't care because I believe in saving America. And then I decided to pursue law school. And I went to Detroit Mercy and obtained my law degree, and then I was the president of the Federalist Society, constitutional lawyers and judges. And I decided to, public service is in my blood. And I believe in, I wasn't interested in obtaining wealth. I wanted to give back to people. And I became a Wayne County prosecutor. And you surely don't do that for the money. You do it because you care. And I was in a courtroom. I was in a courtroom every day fighting for truth and justice. And I litigated thousands of cases, serious felonies, attempted murder, carjacking, bank robbery, armed robbery, drug trafficking, you name the statute, I've prosecuted the case because I care. And I care about victims. I stay up late, work in my cases. I make sure that they get justice. I make sure that they're on their voice. I don't want the system to roll them over. Fighting judges, fighting defense attorneys, pleading the case to jurors because I care about people that are harmed. And I'm going to be their voice and I'm going to be their fighter just like I'm going to be your fighter when we get to Washington, D.C. And I always have the backs of law enforcement. They're part of the forgotten American. And I believe in defending police officers, not defunding them, actually. No. And I'm proud he wasn't able to make it tonight, but he's a great friend of mine. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the Chief of Shelby Township, Robert Shalai, for this campaign because the officers know that I'm going to have their backs. And then this seat opened up, which is about 90% of Macomb County, and then Rochester Hills. This is our district. This is our seat. This is where we have businesses. This is where we live. This is where our children go to school. And these seats don't open up often, is what this room needs to understand. It's either now or never. Politicians, both left and right, they're not always responsive to us. They come to our church, they come to our homes, we treat them like royalty, we give them checks, we financially support them, and they only come around during elections. And no one's going to care for you like someone like me that comes from nothing. And so it's better if we get us in there than some of these politicians. And some of these career politicians stay in office 20, 30, 40 years. And if we don't capitalize on this seat now, we're not going to have representation that we believe in this congressional seat. And so we all need to come together to organize and support and unite so we can get us into the halls of Congress. I'm not the hand-picked establishment candidate. My father's not a billionaire. I'm not the son of a politician. My father's not a politician. And we don't care who runs in this race. You know why we don't care? Because look at this room and all these people. They have to worry about us. Trust me. We have the people, we have the resources, we have the grassroots. And so I'm glad that we're not the son of a politician or a hand-picked candidate. We're going to start this campaign, we're going to emanate this campaign from the bottom of the grassroots. And once we get support, and once we get momentum, and once we start moving, they have no choice but to get on board with us. And they will, but it's going to start with us tonight. And I also want to thank Brian Pannebacker and a few other auto workers for Trump gentlemen. If you're here, please stand up so we can applaud you. Fellas, we're fighting for you. The values of this district, I'll tell you what the values of this district are in the 10th Congressional District. Like the sign says, America first. And President Trump wakes up every day and he fights for the American people and American manufacturing and American workers and American national policy and putting appropriate tax codes in place and making sure our trade policies favor America and not a foreign country. And there's a lot of forgotten Americans that people forget about. The teachers, the police officers, auto workers. And these are the people that Donald Trump, the nurses, that he stands up every day and fights for. And I promise you, I come from a blue-collar family, and we're never going to forget the roots of this district. And when we come to Washington, D.C., we're going to make sure that they never sell out your jobs. And we're going to make sure that we protect you and be a voice for you and make sure you can raise your family in this beautiful country. And never forget it's about God, family, country, patriotism, and you're the movers and shakers of this country. We appreciate all the work that you do. This is how we're going to win this race. The people in this room, we need you to invite us to your house. So we can do fundraisers in your backyards, with your neighbors, with your family, with your friends. We need you next year. The election is August 4th, 2026. We're the first Republican to get in this race, because I promise you, we know how to smell these politicians out. They're worried about us. They're worried about our community. They're worried about the grassroots. They see the support, and they know we're going to win, but they want to see what we're made of. And we're in first, and we're going to finish first. Like Brian talked about, we're coming out of that cage. And we need you to put signs on your lawn. And we need you in your place of business to hand out our flyers. And we need you to make phone calls to your network. A lot of you know important people or people that can connect us to other people. And so we ask that you introduce us to your network. And the last thing that's really most important in a campaign, unfortunately, when you're dabbling at this high of level, Congress is the highest legislative office in America. And we're going to get there, but we need funding. And I don't like standing up here, I really don't. I've never asked anyone in my life to borrow something, to borrow money. I'm just not built like that. I'm built to wake up and earn it yourself. And if I could do this alone, I promise you I will. I would put you on my back and take you right to the promised land. But with something like this, we need all of you. And so please, a lot of you are very philanthropic. A lot of you have given money to a lot of great causes, but there's no better cause to give than to your children's future with this seed. And so if you could dig in your checkbook. And next I want to thank our finance team. One of the gentlemen I went to high school with, he's a great loyal friend of mine. They spend more time on our campaign than they do on their financial services company. And so it's Gianni Perkai that I went to high school with. You donate the money, they're going to count it and make sure it's there. Right? They're very trustworthy. And then Joey Berishai that also works there. And so thank you, gentlemen, for all your help. Love you guys. And we have the best campaign consultant in the state of Michigan. I can tell you that unequivocally right now. And he sent a lot of people to Congress, so he knows what it takes. He's a veteran of campaigns. He's very selective of who he picks as candidates. And he's been, honest to God, he's been working for free for almost 7 months on our campaign because he knows I'm starting from nothing. He knows I come from nothing. And he has been with us trying to get us going because he believes, instead of making more money, he believes in this community, in this district because he's from here. And so I would just like to thank our consultant and strategist who's sent a lot of people there, and he's attaching his reputation to us. And me and our community, we're not going to let him down, and we're going to deliver a win. And I just want to thank Jamie Rowe for being on board with this campaign. And once this fundraiser's done, we got to get you on payroll. And next, I'd like to thank, and he likes to be in the shadows, but I want him to wave because he's done a lot. I call him a data scientist. He's a teacher. And he does a lot of data analytics. And so David Leduc, if you're around, please wave your hand, David. The halls of Congress don't belong to billionaires and the sons of politicians. This is not the rest of the world. We don't pass the crown from kings and queens to their children to keep going and suppress everyone else around them. We came to America for freedom and liberty, and as Ronald Reagan says, it's not passed in the bloodstream. It has to be fought for every single damn day. And I promise you, all of you know what it's like to live in a country where you're limited, where you're suffocated, where you're suppressed. And nobody's a better prime example of patriotism than the beautiful people that are in this room. And we're going to fight like hell every day to make sure that America never becomes a socialist, communist country. And I'm going to fight every damn day for you. And you know who the halls of Congress are meant for? The halls of Congress are meant for the grandson of a dishwasher, the grandson of an auto worker, my great uncles, my great dad that worked so hard every day, their nephew and their son, the son of a waitress. That's who power in the halls of Congress and legislation belong to, because when I get up there, I'm never ever going to sell out our faith and our family and our country. And when we get to the halls of Congress, I promise all of you, you're going to come and you're going to be there and you're going to tour and you're going to visit and you're going to visit that office, because my office is your office, and I'll never ever let you down. And let's go win this thing. And so I just want to say God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the United States of America, and I'll see you out on the campaign trail, and we're going to see you in Washington, D.C. Good night, and thank you very much.